entrepreneur is an agent of change. And entrepreneurship is the process of discovering new ways of combining resources. As the economy is recovered, Indians have a renewed sense of hope for the future. Whether it is SMEs, startups, or even enterprising Indians, over the past 9 years, India's largest and most comprehensive daily platform has championed the cause of this sector successfully, enabling the backbone of the country's economy to help nurture these dreams into reality and recognize the true leaders. According to the MSME Ministry, India has approximately 63 million MSMEs as of November 2021. Having contributed significantly to the country's GDP and exports, the sector has gained significant importance in the country. Micro, small and medium businesses employed over 111 million people in FY21. Thus, even in adverse economic conditions, SMEs have served as a solid foundation for the Indian economy. With us being the pension enabler, the sector is advancing into a new era and folding its journey into a new paradigm. Leaders of Tomorrow has championed these small businesses for a decade, earning high praise and recognition from some of India's sharpest minds and biggest entrepreneurs.
Welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's longest running platform for small businesses. I'm Sunanda Jayaseelan and it's my privilege today to officially announce the launch of the 10th edition of Leaders of Tomorrow to ensure you're getting the strategies that you need as you shape up for the new age. What are we doing which is different this season? What are we doing which is new and exciting? All of that in just a moment. But I want to take a quick step back right now to really talk about what we've done over the past 9 years as we ensure you're being handheld and enabled and empowered. Let's take a look at the highlights of our journey so far.
Leaders of Tomorrow started with a simple idea to provide a platform to the country's most resilient businesses and passionate entrepreneurs. It's a platform that builds and helps nurture dreams into reality and recognizes true leaders who fuel this momentum.
I am really appreciating the initiative of ET, encouraging the MSME who are doing excellent jobs, upgradation of technology, having good turnover. At the same time, they are now will be capable to make more export for the country.
I'm delighted to be here. Let me first compliment the Times Network for this great initiative to work in partnership with the MSME sector of India, which is truly the heart and soul of India's manufacturing, exports, and of job creation.
This is special because you've obviously seen many of the people who came up, but let me say that many of you may not recognize them today. But I can assure you that in a few years' time, you will more than recognize them because I'm going to read out the names of some of the previous year's winners. Okay, these are the guys who won the same award a few years ago. Paytm, Bharat Biotech, the guys who make Covaxin, Kent Aro,
Yes, Mr.
Make My Trip. Okay, so now these guys have all become unicorns, multi-billion-dollar companies.
I just have to congratulate Economic Times, yourself, for putting together these awards, because for those of us on the jury, it's so encouraging to meet the entrepreneurs of today who will be exactly what you say, the leaders and companies that we revere tomorrow. Now, on finance, I do fear that the challenges remain. We hear this refrain across the board. And as a result, I think what we find is a number of the companies that are actually making it through the gate, it's because of offshore equity financing money that comes from the traditional venture capital type of financiers, much of which comes from abroad. And the good news is we have a growing band of local angel funders for equity.
Such donations help us create a great brand recognition and even the opportunity for people to identify us. I'm so thankful to ET Now for choosing us. It makes us feel so proud to be in the company of such great leaders.
Over 9 grand years of Leaders of Tomorrow, we witnessed startups from their inception stage to their IPO stage. We've seen MSMEs become the flag bearers in their own sector and witness budding entrepreneurs emerge as strong leaders. Leaders of Tomorrow has provided a platform to businesses and empowered them with insights and advice from a pool of thought leaders, visionaries and trailblazers to ensure that the right mentoring reaches the right small businesses and help them withstand in the darkest of days.
The Leaders of Tomorrow, we just set the tone by saying GDP is growing. True. We set the tone that credit is growing, bottom of the pyramid. True. New industries are coming up. True. Unorganized to organized is happening. True. Unbranded to branded is happening. True. Everything is true, but for entrepreneurs to take full advantage of that, we have to have the digital play. Otherwise, we will really not be leaders of tomorrow.
If the growth does pick up in the next financial year, then the banks will be, I'm sure, ready, to provide some succor, to the corporates, because they know that these are now, beginning to improve their revenues and profitability, and they'll be able to service the loans as we go forward.
For each sector, for each type of entrepreneur, there is a different prescription. Broadly speaking, pay attention to where the economy is headed. I think that's very important. Explore all avenues to finding financing for you. For the smaller enterprises, particularly, credit is a very important key. So that's something that they have to continue to explore. But other than that, I think, the entrepreneurs are closer to the situation. They know their sectors better. They know their own situations better. And I would really think that, they ought to make those decisions.
No one person knows everything in a startup. There is no such person. You can't be good at everything, but you have to understand what you're not good at and then compensate for it by having other people near you, either as partners or advisors or vice president. But you have to compensate for what you don't understand. And 8 times out of 10, what you don't understand is the finances.
Any entrepreneur, any society creates wealth not by being there, by using older technologies. They create wealth by creating newer technologies, adapting newer technologies, even if they are coming from somewhere. And that's where India is actually today, after 75 years of independence, first time in 1,000 years, is at a place where it's now ready with the rest of the world to compete. And you are actually participating in a race. And for me, the next 50 years will create more wealth for the world than it has been created in the last 10,000 years.
All entrepreneurs, small or large, should have a focus area on making sure they're adequately capitalized, they have enough equity for the uncertainty, for the rainy day. Don't have too much debt on your books. Be very careful on that. And the 2 other things I would say is there is a lot of uncertainty, so always have a plan B. All entrepreneurs have to work with plan B. So when you are trying to scale a business or make investments, you are taking risk. But having a plan B takes part of the risk.
Leaders of Tomorrow keeps innovating to bring new learnings to its viewers. We introduced Masterclass, a 20-episode series where industry voices came together to share their thoughts on various subjects.
How do I really tap this opportunity?
We also introduced Wealth First, a segment where we help entrepreneurs understand how to make and manage their money right and look into their personal finance along with the finance of their businesses. Speaking with state government representatives, we questioned their role in mitigating the impact on MSME workforce, as well as initiatives that have been taken to resolve the liquidity crisis. The one thing that remained constant in our DNA were the Pan-India roadshows, where we met with entrepreneurs across various cities and took cognizance of issues they were facing. Leaders of Tomorrow is India's longest running show for SMEs and MSMEs. From its very inception, it has made its dharma to be the voice of small businesses and recognize their potential in the country's economy by rewarding their hard work and determination through the Leaders of Tomorrow Awards and Conclave.
We put down that we wanted to work with, in the process of building this business, the smartest, hungriest, most passionate people that we had ever met. And that actually was a very, very good way of defining the folks who we then wanted to build the company with. And I've said this earlier, great people working together can do great things.
Leaders of Tomorrow provides a lot of these entrepreneurs to showcase the kind of work they are doing in terms of the nation building part is concerned, and more importantly, trying to solve some unique problem statements which a large related industry can't do. That's what we saw in terms of the evaluations, very unique kind of solutions that they have come up in terms of building. And these kind of platforms will definitely provide a lot more of enthusiasm and motivation for the long tail of entrepreneurship which India has.
I think this platform will be very valuable for entrepreneurs for future, because when they get this kind of recognition, they really want to work hard to go ahead.
Every human being at every stage of life looks for recognition, and awards by media houses, by foundations, and just the platform like Leaders for Tomorrow, and just the boost in morale that they get by getting the recognition, by looking at it for funding or looking at it for customer acceptance, I think it goes a very long way.
Welcome back. You're with us here on this 10th edition of the Leaders of Tomorrow. You're watching the Curtain Raiser episode. What are going to be the 10 events, the 10 trends? Who are going to be the 10 entrepreneurs and the 10 small businesses to watch for as you are shaping up for the new age? Take a look.
After 2 years of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, India's economy is all poised towards growth and recovery as far as small businesses and startup space is concerned. In 2021, India witnessed the birth of 44 unicorns with a total valuation of $89 billion. Additionally, 8 Indian startups launched IPOs in 2021, both in India and abroad. Startups including Zomato, Nykaa, Cartrade and Paytm, to name a few. Every one of them had something for the record books. This clearly shows that startups had become mainstream in India. The International Monetary Fund projects that the global economy will grow by 4.9% in 2022 and forecasts 8.5% growth in the Indian economy, the highest among other nations. We at Leaders of Tomorrow are enabling that growth in this 10th season with our overarching theme, Shaping Entrepreneurs for the New Age. Be it SMEs, MSMEs, startups, or just enterprising individuals, we will help them to dream big and achieve much more. This year, the all-new Leaders of Tomorrow in the landmark 10th season will serve as a torchbearer for next-generation entrepreneurs, small and medium businesses, providing them with guidance in all aspects of their business, including personal finance and much more.
That has there been a structural change, in India's tax revenue collection all across the board and India's export growth? My answer is very definitely there has been a structural change. So therefore, that is something that is going to feed in throughout now in the future.
Today, e-commerce is one of the best friends of the small scale, whether a business. And I don't understand this government meddling with the e-commerce rules. Whenever you turn your back, they want to meddle again. And this is creating unnecessary uncertainty.
I think the government's theme is not an important aspect of it for innovation, because all innovation doesn't cost much money, honestly. Who creates innovation is individual who creates innovation. Not by Bharat Biotech doesn't create innovation. It's the individual scientists who are in the company creates innovation. So you need to build an extremely good human resource who can build a passion in them to make it to happen, innovation, something to happen. And that is what's required in the country.
Therefore, it looks unlikely that even if interest rates goes up, it looks unlikely that MSMEs will get impacted on the rising interest rates, given the fact that there is absolutely no reason for the interest rate to go up or spreads to go up for corporates at this point of time.
I said sustaining growth doesn't happen automatically. Okay, that you still got to keep doing reform. New bottlenecks arise. Skills we've talked about. Skill bottlenecks are already being seen. Okay, before the pandemic. So you have to keep reforming. So in my view, currently, the next year or two, the key ones are those three reforms which I have said. We need the direct tax code, GST simplification, dramatic simplification of the GST, and a good simplification of the customs duty. So we've got to keep doing those reforms if we want sustained growth of 7 to 8% for the next decade.
India's economy, India's growth story is going to be defined by the SMEs and MSMEs. They have taken the biggest setback, unfortunately, due to COVID. It's going to be a very, very painful, long, uphill battle for all of them. What they need are two things. They need a lot more government support. They need a lot more ease of business support from the government. Two, they need a lot of service infrastructure in the form of people guiding them.
To ensure your voice finds a national platform, we will travel this year again across the country, connecting you with experts who have their finger on the pulse of what makes entrepreneurs tick, including connecting you with and bringing in the advice from entrepreneurs all over the country.
But how do you see, what do you think to address this issue?
We will continue asking questions to the government and various forums for the betterment of the small business community through our masterclass series, and we will continue guiding entrepreneurs on the financial front.
I would suggest the government, center and state exempt all online education where you're educating young people, skilling young people from the GST. It may not cost more than 5,000 crores because, the quantum of revenues is very small. Look at all the digital unicorns, barring Byju, which has got an income of 2,500 crores. Others are earning peanuts. They're hardly earning anything. The valuation is very, very high. So I think we must do it for the next 10 years.
Governance is an extremely important part of value creation. And that's what something which an entrepreneur should cherish and strive for. There will be a lot of temptations of taking a shortcut. But when you follow the governance, that really creates an enduring impression.
If you understand the company, you will be able to estimate. If you don't understand the value, if you don't understand the company, obviously you cannot put a value to that. So clearly bringing that discipline of seeing the price value gap is the key to investing process. And if you don't understand something, please don't put your money into that.
Right from consulting doctors online to attending foreign universities online. So clearly healthcare and education, these two areas have seen maximum benefit from the digitization that was in a way maybe forced upon us. Now you think the main learning from this whole churning that we have seen in last 20-22 months that can be further enhanced to maybe further spread the reach of these two facilities, the education part and the healthcare, because end of the day that will play a crucial role in the growth of the country as well.
So this is the brilliant question, Meher, and I completely believe that this in a nutshell summarizes the benefits and the impact of technology. The conventional narrative of technology for many years, and I've been in technology for over 3 decades, has been that technology helps you reach people who are otherwise unreachable. But it is the COVID that has proved that that model actually works in real life. And what is now happening in the post-COVID reality, in the post-COVID new world, is that now technology is going to be used increasingly to increase the reach of public services, public products. So therefore, education, health, these are all going to be, in a sense, catalyzed, especially in these remote areas where there were either lack of access or lack of choice.
If India has to sustain its digital revolution and actually enable further contribution from digital economy, then we need to, one, create right kind of skill set and then create right kind of jobs. And you play a very crucial role in that. What is your vision? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities?
I think it is very clear that with our demography and our youth population and this energy and confidence that we see post-COVID, that India can be a skill hub, white collar to blue collar, for large parts of the world that are looking for skilled talent and skilled workforce. So first of all, that is just a statement of the opportunity. Is in stark, clear terms. It is a real opportunity. Now, how do we make that opportunity realized and become real? And I think there, the answer is that we are reimagining our Skill India skilling program. We are looking at many more micro programs. We are focusing on employment-linked, micro-entrepreneurship-linked skilling, rather than just sort of an occupational skilling. So we are creating a significant amount of focus on how to reimagine skilling, target the youth and give them more opportunities and a gateway.
We introduce to you the 10th edition of Leaders of Tomorrow, with the core idea of driving more growth stories and enabling an ecosystem for entrepreneurs to thrive.
So that's what we have lined up for you on this 10th edition. I hope you are as excited as I am about the journey that we are going to take you on. So buckle up and strap yourselves in.